I'm now looking at the entire field of 8. And what we're seeing now is a rarity, because I have my same list that I put together here of the final 4 quarterbacks from the AFC since NFL Network came on the air and started covering games. And I'm now looking at all 8 and utilizing this list of the AFC quarterbacks. I think this is the first time since the NFL Network came on the air in the last 20 years that we're seeing all 8 quarterbacks of divisional playoff weekend under the age of 30. Talk about youth being served. Mm-hmm. You've got the OG, the old man in this group is Dak Prescott at age 29.
Wow.
After that, you got Mahomes at 27, Burrow and Allen at 26, Daniel Jones at 25, Jalen Hurts at 24, and the young guns, the babies of the group dropping their huggies in divisional playoffs for the first time, Trevor Lawrence and Brock Purdy. They're all under the age of 30. And Mahomes, you want to talk about how crazy this is? This is Mahomes's 5th straight year being in the divisional round. 5th straight year, okay? And he's 27. Peyton Manning didn't win his first playoff game till he was 27. That's how far in front Mahomes is of the curve. And Brady's still sitting back laughing, saying somebody's going to have to come chase me down with 7 Super Bowl rings. I think that's going to last our lifetimes and those of our children and maybe their children, quite frankly. But this is a young man's game at the position. With Brady out, now Rodgers having not made it. Last year's Super Bowl winning quarterback, Matthew Stafford, didn't finish the season. Young man's game at quarterback. And this weekend, the amazing thing is the quarterback with the best team by the end of the day, by the end of the month, and by the end of the season may be the one quarterbacked by the youngest of the group and Brock Purdy. I cannot tell you how many people have come up to me or tweeted at me or friends have texted me wondering what the story of the NFL season is. And I spit back right at them, and they all say, right? Isn't it? Brock Purdy is the answer. And it's unbelievable in this you can't make it up league that this kid spent the first 2+ months of the season just earbudding it up, clipboarding it up, sitting there supporting Jimmy Garoppolo, and at one point, Purdy supporting Lance and Garoppolo. That this kid comes in and hasn't missed a shot. He's not perfect, but what he is doing is unbelievable. It is the stuff of legend. It really is. And he's in that position right now. And we're going to see him against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday after all the other games are finished, after the AFC Championship field is set, after we know if the winner of 49ers Cowboys visits Philadelphia or this game is for the right to host the NFC Championship game. We will already know all of that and have 3 games, 6 teams, and presumably 12 quarters of football to talk about and ruminate and chop up. And Brock Purdy's going to step out there against the oldest of the group in Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys and say, not today. This is a magic carpet ride that I am on. Honestly, I totally get the fact that we are a Cowboys-centric media. I get the fact that Burrow and Allen is a terrific matchup. And we also know what's going on between the Bengals and the Bills and what happened a few weeks ago and how that will be part of the proceedings in Western New York on Sunday afternoon. And I get how Mahomes is odds-on favorite to be MVP this year. And I understand that the Jaguars in themselves are a terrific Cinderella story out of not Augusta, but TPC Sawgrass. You know, like, I understand that Jalen Hurts had the MVP, I thought, right there in his hands until his shoulder gave way for 2 weeks. Fair or not. And I understand that the Giants have their history of going from who really are they and can this quarterback really do it to picking confetti out of their hair, not just once but twice. Nothing compares to the story of Brock Purdy. Nothing. The only comparison is what happened to Brady years ago and Kurt Warner in 99. And I know you guys talked to Kurt Warner yesterday. I can't believe, you know, what I'm seeing. And I understand everybody thinks he's going to trip up or that's going to be the tripwire for this season. But if this kid wins 3 more games, it's stuff we'll be talking about for a long time. And that's the storyline I'm focused on. And how in this young man's game could this kid who came out of truly nowhere take the San Francisco 49ers to the promised land? I see you kind of shaking your head over there. Would you disagree? Agree? What do you think?
You know, I'm just trying to think about it. It's one of those things like if Kurt and Tom Brady had a baby, right? It'd be Brock Purdy, kind of.
Their stories, if their legacies had a baby?
If their stories.
The origin stories.
Yeah, right, because Brady's 6th round and Kurt undrafted and, you know, obviously made a movie. You can make a movie out of Brady, too, I guess, if you want. But, yeah, I'm just trying to think about,
right.
You know, he's only been playing quarterback in the NFL for, like, a month and a half.
Which is why he didn't make the final 3 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. It was Olave, Garrett Wilson, and
Kenneth Walker.
So he can't win. He's not going to. I haven't broken that news to Cooper yet, that he's not going to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, he called it.
And I find that a mistake. I think, you know.
But story of the whole NFL season, it's like the roller coaster the Bills have been on. You know, the Bengals kind of overcoming injuries and fighting back to get to the final 8 here.
This is no disrespect to anyone
else. No, I know. I'm
here.
just trying to, you know, kind of talk it through. And it's like, yeah, the 49ers is amazing. They started the year with one guy, and then they go to the guy that they didn't want to have on the team at all. And then now here's this kid that no one's ever heard of, and he looks like Joe Montana.
And that's what's playing out against the Cowboys in such an important game for a franchise that hasn't been back to an NFC championship game since their last Super Bowl year.
And I think that's kind of the icing, Rich, when you think about it. It's like he's not just playing against the Bucs or any other team. He's playing the Cowboys.
Yeah, on top of it.
Cowboys.
And that's what's at stake. How many arguments were you used to being in? Because I know you're more chill now, TJ. I get it. You're a more evolved human.
I'm refined.
I got it.
I drink with my pinky out.
But how many arguments have you been in as a Dallas Cowboy fan for the last 3 decades? Ooh. And the answer is you haven't been to an NFC championship game since 1995 season. End of story, period. And the same way as a Yankee fan, you haven't won a World Series since 2009. You're so terrific. Like, I'm in my 2nd decade of hearing this argument. And it's kind of a conversation ender, you know?
Rich, so much I had to put a velvet rope up last year, remember?
I know that. That can end by the end of the night Sunday. That could be over.
When the varsity hits the field on Sunday, yes.
That can be over. The answer to the question is over. And the team that would be in front of you, to go back to the Super Bowl is a team that you know very well and that you've beaten this year. Each of them. The Cowboys have a win against each of the teams that they might face to go to the Super Bowl. If they win Sunday, it's out of sight on Sunday.
Man, my heart is literally starting to race.
Yes.
Why are you doing this to me, yo?
Because I am a professional communicator of what's at stake. And a storyline guy and a season storyline arc and a narrative guy. I'm all about the narratives. Not an all 22 guy. I can look at film.
That's not what we do.
But what I am a professional at is narratives and storylines and arguments and what people talk about and think about. Top 5 lists, yes. Exactly.
Ranking.
I'm getting into that. I'm still a rookie. But I can't. That's what's at stake over the week. And I kind of marry the two. The fact that this is everybody's under the age of 30 at the quarterback position in this quarterback-driven league. There's no OGs. There's nobody going for, I was about to say no one going for their second, but obviously Mahomes is the only one. So Mahomes is going for his second.
He's the OG.
He is the OG, but not in age.
Not in age.
Not in age, but in success.
Correct. And then comes the baby of the group, the guy Purdy. You want to talk about reinforcing a narrative? He shows up with a backpack on. Like he's going to home ec.
Backpack.
He emailed his teacher for a meeting about the homework assignment.
Do people know what home ec is still?
Well, it's a hit television show.
That's true.
So, at any rate, can't wait.